Welcome to Sacrilegious Discourse.
For this is what the Sovereign Lord says.
Why do you need prophets to tell people who you are and what you want?
If you can justify everything that the God of the Bible has done, then you can justify any of your behavior.
A lot of this mentality is trickling into what is now mainstream right-wing Christianity.
I am capable of empathy greater than this God of the Bible.
This is a Bible that they tell kids. This is the good Lord. This is the good book. He is fantasizing about murder, mass murder.
Head over to sacrilegiousdiscourse.com right now to find out how to leave us a review or support us on Patreon.
Hey there, sinners and saints. It's your favorite Bible-bashing duo from Sacrilegious Discourse, and we need your help.
That's right, folks. We're raising funds for some heavenly equipment and a studio that doesn't sound like it's in the depths of hell.
Our current setup, let's just say it's more apocalypse than audiophile.
So if you want to hear us dissect the Bible without the background noise of demonic squirrels, chip in a few bucks.
We're aiming for $5,000 to upgrade our audio and build a studio worthy of blasphemous banter.
Donate today and help us spread the good word of atheism.
You can find a link right on our homepage, sacrilegiousdiscourse.com. Every dollar counts.
Even if it's from your collection plate.
Hey, it's Husband here. We're releasing this episode because we thought it was really important, and it was originally just a Patreon episode, and we left this just there for a little while, but we wanted to share this with everybody. I do want to remind everybody that we have cut all of our ad revenue out from our podcast so that none of our advertising dollars accidentally help anybody that supports Trump. So we definitely could use your help. If you want to sign up at Patreon, head over to patreon.com/sacrilegious discourse. You can support us for as little as $1 a month, and every little bit helps. So that being said, enjoy the episode. Thank you. Wife.
What you doing today?
Well, so I'm running another special episode. This one is a Patreon only. And today we're going to be going over Pete Hegseth.
What a dick.
Yeah, absolutely. He's a dick.
Okay, who is that guy again?
So he is our new Secretary of Defense.
Okay.
He just got confirmed in late January. And we're going to talk about some of his views and what he believes, and maybe tattoos.
Tattoos?
Yeah.
Tattoo.
Suffice it to say, this guy is not good for our country. And really probably dangerous for our country.
Probably.
That's my best estimation.
That's what ChatGPT told me.
That's my best estimation on what I've learned.
Okie dokie.
You ready to find out more about Pete Hegseth?
And how?
All right, let's do this.
Okie dokie.
Okay, so you ready to get into Pete Hegseth here?
Yes, I am.
All right. Well, so just a little bit about Pete.
Pete with stinky old feet.
Good old Peter here.
That's what my grandfather had a dog when I was a kid, and his name was Pete, and so they always sang Pete with the stinky old feet. For real.
I think that's a great way to reference Pete Hegseth.
Yeah,
I think that's great.
Okay, tell me about this dude.
Sure, yeah. No, so the parts that sound good are that he was a former Army major. He was deployed to Iraq and Afghanistan and received 2 Bronze Stars. All sounds very, whatever. He did stuff, right?
Sure.
Also, he was a former news personality on Fox News.
And there it is.
And he is known for his right-wing Christian nationalist rhetoric.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So he was recently, at the end of January, he was confirmed as the new Secretary of Defense, and it's really turning the military into basically a Christian nationalist movement based on what I have been able to glean about this individual.
Okay.
So let's talk a little bit about what his views are.
Okay.
Right? So
yeah, I'm a little scared of him. So.
Yeah. So his views are basically that the U.S. should be governed by biblical principles rather than secular democracy. And he is part of these groups. There's I put this in the wrong place in my notes here, but it's Sphere something or other. And he's also, I'll get to it here in a bit. But,
okay.
But there's these religious groups that he's affiliated with loosely that basically he is not okay with democracy or letting people rule themselves.
Oh.
He wants this to be more or less a theocracy.
So he likes a king.
Yeah,
He
which is
likes a
kind of
leader.
the scary bit, right? Because
Yeah.
we've got we have a president right now that's calling himself a king. He's got a Secretary of Defense that's okay with a king. And we're building up, this whole ability to make that happen, in my opinion, right? Like we're putting people in places where the restrictions for this to happen or not happen are becoming less and less.
Right.
Right. So we had talked about how he's got the Christian nationalist ideas, and he's okay with theocracy. He's also very racist, and he wants he's got tattoos.
Okay.
That are.
Tell me about the tattoos.
Yeah. And there's Crusader imagery. He's got the Jerusalem cross, and I think you say the Deus Volt. God wills it. It's a phrase associated with white supremacist movements.
Oh, that's exciting.
Yeah.
I love a good Nazi guy.
Yeah. So the Jerusalem cross, it's historically associated with the Crusades, and it's used by Christian knights who fought to reclaim the Holy Land from Muslims. In modern times, it's been adapted it's been adopted by far-right Christian nationalist groups, particularly those who frame politics as a religious war.
Ah,
yeah.
Okay.
So that's not great to have on our Secretary of Defense.
That's not great to have in our military at all.
Yeah.
Or our government at all.
Right. The Deus Volt, it's a God wills it tattoo that he has. It was the battle cry of Christian crusaders when Pope Urban II launched the first crusade in 1095.
God wills it because he wants us to kill a bunch of fucks.
Right.
I mean, isn't that what the Bible is about?
Yeah, it's used historically to justify religious violence, forced conversions, and Christian dominion. Mm-hmm. Okay. Mm-hmm. So it's great imagery for, again, our person leading the fucking military.
God wills it.
Right, yeah.
Let's take these guns and go.
Yeah, and again, in modern times, it's been used by white supremacists and far-right extremists, particularly online communities that advocate for Christian nationalism and anti-Muslim policies and authoritarian governance.
Awesome.
Yeah. This is great stuff, right?
You know what's frustrating is that my parents have probably never heard of this guy or any of that stuff, but they probably have been told, like, hey, this Christian leader guy is now leading the military, and so we're going to be Christian-y now. And so my parents are probably like super excited about this, not understanding all of the like white supremacy part of it.
Right. No, they're hearing Christian. That's all they're hearing.
Yeah.
I'm sure of it.
Yeah.
And
so if I went to them with this, they would be like, oh, you're just
blowing that out of
atheist.
proportion.
Yeah.
Right.
And where'd you get that information? It wasn't Fox News or any of the right-leaning sources that we trust. Then obviously it's a lie.
Yeah. So the phrase was actually seen on banners at the Charlottesville rally, where in 2017, back when that when that horrible protest happened and people died, and that was not great. So his Hegseth's personal connection to this, he was actually on a podcast, and he was talking about some of his viewpoints, and it was the Sean Ryan show, and he said that he joined the army to fight extremists in 2001. 20 years later, that same army labeled me one.
Whoa.
So he's got this chip on his shoulder about the army.
Yeah.
And now he's leading it. He's going to change it. He's going to make it better?
Yeah.
Question mark? Because I don't think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's clearly got some vengeance in his heart that he wants to get out.
Yeah. After the January 6th insurrection, the Army National Guard flagged Hegseth's tattoo as evidence that he was a potential insider threat.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. His orders were revoked for the Biden inauguration due to those concerns.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
They were all for real.
Yeah.
They were like, this guy.
Right. Yeah. Hegseth later described this as an example of anti-Christian bias in the military, framing himself as a persecuted warrior of faith.
Oh, yeah, because white supremacy is totally synonymous with Christian. And so if you don't like white supremacy, then also you don't like God.
Right. Yeah.
Is that how that works?
Yeah.
It's how it sounds like it works. And then if you talk to Christians who aren't familiar with the white supremacy part of it, then they say that you're just being against Christianity, when it's like, well, I mean, yes, but more importantly, I'm against white supremacy. But all they hear is you're anti-Christian.
Well, and based on a lot of his rhetoric, there's a lot of concern that he's going to use his role to purge "quote unquote" wokeness and reinstate Christian dominance into the military. Like he's going to take away things like secular pastors and any of that stuff. Like secularism is going to go away. That's the concern. That's
bad. That's really bad, because like even in basic training when I was in the Army, on Sunday they had a secular pastor, which, I mean, that kind of sounds, I guess it was like a non-denominational, but they referred to him as the secular pastor.
Right.
He would come through on Sundays, and you could either be doing duty or you could go to church. So most of us chose to go to church,
of course,
because we didn't want to be at duty.
Yeah.
And it was very like tame. It wasn't like overly like hardcore Christian stuff. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't like in your face.
It was spiritual.
Yeah.
Ish.
Yeah. I mean, it was still like, they were still singing hymns, and they were still like having you, like he still read stuff from the Bible, but it was just very innocuous, and it was relaxing. Innocuous. Yeah. That's what I meant. Sorry. I knew what I meant. Read my mind. And so getting rid of the tameness of it is really going to make it to where only Christians get out of work. And if you're not Christian, could you sit through that? No. So that means you get to go to work. And that's just like one small, teeny tiny minor example in basic training.
Well, what my understanding of the current state of our military is that it has trouble getting recruits.
Yes.
As it stands.
Yeah,
right?
they are down. Recruitment is down.
So why would we on purpose try to limit the political ideologies that we cater to and that we promote as being important in the military, right?
Because they've always been at odds with actual statistics and facts.
Right.
That's why.
No, I know. Yeah.
Like, they have no idea that what they're doing is actually statistically harmful to whatever organization or nation overall. They don't understand that what they're doing is actually counterproductive.
Are you saying the military in general, or because...
No, Christian nationalists are like, we're going to make it better and stronger and gooder. Like, they don't really understand that mathematically speaking, they're being stupid, wrong, and dumb.
Right. They just want to turn it into a Christian nationalist organization real bad.
And it's like, that's great, but there's only going to be 5 of you at the end of the day. And that's the opposite of what you want.
Yeah.
Stupid.
Yeah. So I mentioned earlier about some of the religious things that he's involved in and the religious ideologies that he believes. One of which is sphere sovereignty. Okay. And this was originally, it was developed by Abraham Cooper, and this person lived Kuiper. Okay. He lived in the late 1800s, early 1900s, and he was a Dutch theologian, journalist, and politician, and he played a major role in shaping neo-Calvinism and the concept of sphere sovereignty. And it's an ideology that wants Christianity to influence societal institutions. So family, government, education, they should all be under biblical authority. So these are all different
spheres? Is that what you're saying?
Well, it's saying that like family should be, these are all different things that should be all under the sphere of Christianity.
Okay.
Yeah. So how Hegseth, based on his statements that he has made over time, might view this is that the military should function under a Christian leadership. like, and he's already doing that. Like, he's
Right.
actually changed some people into different positions that are more in line with his viewpoints.
Right.
So that's already happening. We'll get into that, a little bit of that down at the end of this episode too.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Very excited about that. Sounds like a plan.
And the government should support Christian values over secular ones.
Awesome.
And schools should be Christian controlled, not secular.
Of course.
These are all ideas that are part of sphere sovereignty. Obviously, that is completely antithetical to pluralism and democracy.
Mm-hmm.
So that's not great for us
Right.
that he ascribes to that ideology.
Right.
Also, he is very much influenced by Christian Reconstructionism. And this is enforcing biblical law. Okay. And this was founded by R.J. Rushdoony, who was alive from 1916 to 2001. And he was an American Calvinist theologian and the founder of the Christian Reconstructionism. Or Reconstructionism, sorry, not. And it's a radical movement that's seeking to replace secular democracy with biblical law. So basically, Sharia law for Christians.
Oh, okay.
We're gonna just do the whole, theocracy thing.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
gonna happen.
Okay.
Maybe.
Sure. I wonder how that's going
and
to go
literally,
over.
they advocate for theocratic government enforcing Old Testament laws. Like, Calvinists are more in line, like, with still abiding by Old Testament laws. Now, we've read the Old Testament.
I'm like,
how do
yeah.
you feel about that?
I'm curious how they're going to get around, like, some of the mixed thread rules. you
Well,
know?
just so you're aware, some of the key tenets of this belief are the death penalty for homosexuality, adultery, and blasphemy.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
Well, fuck me. I guess I'm fucked.
Women must be subordinate to men in society.
Eat my ass. Go on.
And it rejects democracy as anti-Christian.
Of course it does.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
it means giving everybody an equal voice. And some voices are more important than others in Christianity.
Right. So you might ask, what are Hegseth's ties to this movement?
What are Hegseth's ties to this movement?
What are his ties?
Yeah.
He attends a church affiliated with Douglas Wilson, and that is a leading Reconstructionalist, of which they hold these ideas.
Jesus Christ.
And he also publicly has advocated for biblical law and governance through some of his statements.
So basically, let me just get this straight. He wants me dead.
I mean, he wants you subordinate for sure.
Well, I mean, I
and
cuss.
then once you're not, then yes, dead.
I cuss. I'm bi. I am not subordinate. I've been married more than once.
Right.
I've had an abortion.
No, you wouldn't last
he wants
long.
me dead.
Right, yeah.
He wants me dead.
Right.
He wants me personally dead.
Sure. I mean,
Awesome.
that seems to be in line with his views. Yeah.
Okay.
So
my friends who want to tune out to politics,
yeah.
as we discussed prior to coming on the microphone,
Right.
maybe I should tell them, hey, so this guy wants me personally dead, and maybe you too for these reasons. So could you maybe tune back in? I would like to not die.
I mean, this guy is really scary.
Yeah.
And he's in charge of our fucking military.
Right.
So
maybe
it's
tune back in,
it's
everybody.
Worth paying attention to this guy.
Yeah.
Like, this guy has the wrong type of power and the wrong type of ideas.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not a great situation.
Right.
It depends on how everything ends up, but like, Trump is filling spaces with people that are very fucking dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
And this guy is very fucking dangerous.
Yeah, not just stupid. Like, the ones at the very, very top are stupid, but the ones that are not at the tippy top, they're at the just top.
Sure.
They're smart and dangerous.
I wouldn't go so far as to say smart.
Hegseth sounds very smart. He got where he got.
They're driven. They're motivated. They have ideologies. Smart is a whole other thing that I would have to base on other criteria.
Okay.
Based on the ideas that he holds, I don't consider those smart ideas. I consider those crazy ideas.
Well,
But that's just my opinion. So
you can have a crazy genius, though.
yeah. But again, I'd have to judge that on different criteria than what I've studied about him.
Okay.
So Hegseth's vision for the military, is it maybe a Christian crusade?
Sounds like it.
It kind of does, right?
Kind of sounds like it.
Yeah. So, I mean, he calls the military woke. Like he thinks that the
It
military is woke. Now,
that's so
I personally
funny.
have a really hard time accepting that information because I have never viewed the military as woke.
I was there, and it was starting to try to maybe a little bit kind of wake up. I would never call it woke.
Right.
Considering how they still treat women to this day.
Yeah.
And considering that, yes, the queer community and particularly the trans community does have more of a place now than it used to in the military, it's still fresh and new.
Yeah.
And now it's going right back, into the closet. I would never call the military woke. No. I would call it a group that had some people that were trying really hard to get it there.
Right. Yeah, no, I agree. I agree.
Because we did have, like, when I was in between, the mid to late 90s.
Yeah.
And we had to attend, like, DEI training and stuff like that. They didn't call it that back then.
Right.
But we also had to attend, like, anti-sexist discrimination, that kind of thing.
Sure. Yeah.
And, you are required to attend it. Like, it's part of your record,
Yeah.
Like, oh, you're due for, it's been so many months or so many years. It's
you
time
got to
for
go back for this training.
Yeah.
Right.
The same.
Yeah.
And they do that with, like, your shots and with your, like, checkups and your dental checkups. Oh, it's been so long. You are due for your whatever.
Right.
So, they were trying to be woke,
Yeah.
but they were not woke.
Yeah. So Hegseth, he claims that the military has become weak and effeminate due to diversity, equity, inclusion, and the DEI programs and what have you. And he blames DEI efforts for driving away white men from enlisting.
Oh my God. Are you kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? That is the stupidest shit I ever heard because let me just tell you a story.
Sure.
When I was enlisted, I was part of the very first class where I was at of a combined men and women program.
Sure.
In basic training.
Yeah.
And we still had separate rooms that we slept in, but we were in a combined barracks.
Okay.
And so there was that. Okay.
Yeah.
And the majority of the people that were enlisted were Black and Hispanic.
Sure.
Or of the girls, even of the girls, it was like only half white. So there was probably more white girls than white guys. But my point being, it was the economically oppressed people who were the enlisted.
Definitely.
The white people all go to college and become officers.
Right.
So kiss my ass that we were a weak army because we're pushing white men away. Fuck you.
Well, yeah.
White men weren't enlisting.
Who wants to make basically minimum wage to go get shot at by people?
Right? And that's not to say that there were not white men. There were a lot of white men.
Right.
But there were more Black men and Hispanic men.
Sure. No, I mean, the military has always been a way out for people, right?
Yes.
Like I'm not trying to discount what the military is. The military does give people opportunities, right?
Yes.
You have a way to pull yourself up and do something with your life through the military that you wouldn't maybe have otherwise.
If you're poor, it's your only option.
Sure.
And so it's a non-drafting draft, which I appreciate that it's there as any kind of option.
But to pretend like DEI programs are why white people aren't getting into the military is ridiculous because it's about, like you said, it's about economic oppression.
Mm-hmm.
So it's literally because white people are privileged.
Yes.
That's why they're not enlisting in the military, not because the DEI programs.
Yeah.
It's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah. The only white people that enlist are the ones at the bottom of the economic bucket.
Right, right.
So kiss my ass on that.
Yeah, and just, I know this will shock you, but there is no evidence that DEI weakens the military readiness.
No, if anything, I would assume that it makes it better because it makes people more comfortable with the people they're around.
Yeah, no, and at least prior to Hegseth, the military leadership supported diversity as a strength because, that you're having to interact with a bunch of different people and learn to be a part of a team. So, I mean, it's just
one of the greatest parts of, like, I grew up a military brat. And one of the greatest parts of that is that it exposes you to other cultures and it makes you a more well-rounded person. Like, I lived in other countries, not America.
Right.
And that was just as a kid, a dependent. So imagine being an adult going to other countries, which just because you're in the military doesn't mean that you will go to other countries, but obviously there's a greater likelihood than if you weren't enlisted.
Right.
So yes, a diverse group is going to be better than a non-diverse group, because the more ideas you are exposed to, the greater the empathy that you have, and it grows your curiosity, and the whole thing just makes you a stronger, more cohesive group.
Yeah. Also, Hegseth also supports banning women from combat.
Of course, because they have periods, and what are they going to do with their tampons?
He has been quoted as saying, "We need moms, but not in the military, especially in combat units." Mm-hmm. Quote from him. And
Mamas can't shoot guns.
Right.
That's silly.
He claims that women in combat make the military less lethal.
That's so funny.
Like, what? Is our goal to be lethal or to, like, effectively defend the United States, right?
And defend weaker nations.
Granted, lethality is sometimes needed, I guess, but like is that like whatever. The reality of it is that women have been successfully serving in combat roles for years, and there is no data that suggests that women weaken the unit effectiveness.
No.
So I mean, it's complete bullshit what he's saying, and he's basing it on his own religious and ideological
basing it
views.
On women are only supposed to be fuckholes.
Right. Yeah.
Make me a sandwich, bitch, and then get in bed and let me fuck you.
Yeah.
And shut the fuck up and like it.
Yeah. So some other wonderful things about Hegseth here. He actually opposes efforts to remove white supremacists and violent extremists from the military, calling it a fake problem, quote unquote.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So all those things that I saw never happened.
Well, there was. He actually has been quoted. I'm going to be paraphrasing this because I don't think I have the exact quote in front of me. But he has actually said something to the effect that he respects Islamic terrorists because they at least have a fervor of willingness to go fight for something
behind a solidified religious notion.
Right.
I read that thing. You had me read that.
Yeah,
that was
crazy.
Terrifying.
Yeah. But he's seeking to purge any officers who promote wokeness from their leadership. And
wokeness meaning DEI and equality.
Yeah. If you are trying to accept people, apparently you're going to get fired.
Yeah.
So
if you're not a dick, you're fired.
What does that mean? Who the fuck knows, right?
You can't define.
Am I not allowed to like promote the black person or the person of color that works in my department?
Nope.
Apparently not.
You're supposed to keep them at the bottom under the boot.
That not only gets them fired for being promoted as a person of color, but also gets you fired for trying to promote them, probably.
Yeah.
I don't know. Is that how we do this now?
They shouldn't have been there in the first place except for at the bottom.
Right, yeah.
And the women shouldn't be there at all, except as, again, fuckholes.
Right. And obviously, if there are people who are career military, right? Mm-hmm. And so there's going to be a lot of people that are in the military that are going to be dealing with this from the standpoint of, hey, we used to accept these types of things. So it's going to lead to a lot of people going, what the fuck, and being very alienated, who are not Christian, who are minorities, who are LGBTQ. These are going to be issues that people are going to be dealing with.
Yeah. So let me explain this to you. So up at the higher military level, where those are all your white leadership people, right? Because those are all your college officers, right?
Right.
You know who is the actual leadership of the enlisted? It's all black. Okay. It's all the black leadership because that, the poor enlist, right?
Yeah.
So we've got all the people of color that have enlisted because they are, oppressed. And that's what the majority of our military enlistment is composed of. And so they raise through the ranks. And so you've got a bunch of enlisted leadership who is majority black.
And they're going to be referring to this as DEI.
Yeah.
Like,
and so all of a sudden
they're going to go seek out the one white person in that fucking area, and they're going to be like, we're going to promote this person over you because obviously that person deserves it more. I
mean, where I was at, the majority of the enlisted leadership was black, and it made perfect sense, and they were fine.
Yeah.
They were no different from anybody else leadership.
Sure.
I mean,
they were in charge.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
That happens.
And you know what? In the military, you don't have time and space for your own opinion. And so, like, they all spouted the exact same information because that's what the military is. That blind information hierarchy, like they're all given the same piece of paper to read from.
Yeah.
And they all have the same data points. So, like, their color and their gender is completely beside the point. They all read the same, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm just like, oh, what are you going to do with all of that leadership? These career military people who have been there for 20 years plus, and you're trying to tell them that they were only there because of DEI, and now suddenly what? They got to leave?
Right.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
That's going to be a problem.
Oh, yeah. No, I mean, there's a lot of inherent problems with this guy and what might happen.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like some of the things that we really need to keep our eye out for are, you know, like if he's going to be changing, especially from a secular perspective, we need to watch what he's going to be doing with the chaplains in the military, whether he's going to make them all evangelical Christian, you know, like if there's going to be discrimination against atheists and secular or different types of religions in the military. And if there's going to be proselytizing of Christian ideas, right? Like, is this going to turn into a Christian nationalist encampment, right? And obviously it's going to possibly diminish the rights of LGBTQIA. It's going to, they might implement religious tests for promotions and leadership.
Oh my God.
Yeah. I mean, you know, these are all things that could possibly happen, right?
That are likely to happen.
And again, this is a government entity, so it's going to be eroding our separation of church and state even further than what is already happening at state levels and at the national level. So just one more thing that's being taken away from the secular community.
Right.
And not just the secular community. This is tragic all over.
Yeah.
So, so he's been Petey boy here. He's been in office he's been in this position for about a month. And since his confirmation, he's done a few things.
Okay.
So he's actively trying to reconstruct the military leadership.
Okay.
He has already, in February 2025, under President Trump's directive, Hegseth oversaw the removal of high-ranking military officers, including Joint Chiefs Chairman General Charles Q. Brown Jr., Chief of Naval Operations, and Lisa Franchetti, and Air Force Vice Chief of Staff James Sliff. I can't remember. I don't know. This is just unbelievable. Like, that's like he's taking away some very high people to put in place people he wants to put in place.
So
which, again,
he's just what,
it's not
retiring
just
them or firing them?
Yeah,
them out?
essentially firing them, right? And so it's not just that we're getting Pete, we're also replacing people downline from him.
Awesome.
So this is going to be a trickle-down effect where he's going to be putting into place people that he wants to put in place. He's also fired a bunch of senior military lawyers. They're going to replace them with people that are going to stand up, like much like we have the Attorney General's office, who apparently is basically Trump's personal lawyers now. I'm not really sure how that works, but that seems like to be the case.
Yeah.
The military is going to do similar things for their lawyers,
awesome.
I guess, so that they can, you know, hire people that they want to and do whatever. I don't fucking know.
Right.
They're going to have a lot of yes men, I think, is what it's going to boil down to. They're doing a bunch of budget cuts. They're trying to move some allocations to fund different things for Trump, but they're moving it from the military to other places like the wall building, and they want a nuclear force modernization thing that they're going to be working on. So like, it's not going to rely, like,
whatever. He wants that like Iron Dome thing done for the United States, so he's going to be reallocating funds for that and different shit like that. So there's a new emphasis from him that he's calling the warrior ethos. In his guidance to the Department of Defense, Hegseth emphasized restoring a quote-unquote warrior ethos, advocating for a culture centered on accountability, high standards, and readiness. This directive suggests a shift away from diversity programs, which he argues detract from the military effectiveness. And again, we already kind of talked about some of that, but I feel like this is more of him turning it into a Christian nationalist movement where it's not good. It's not the whole mentality that he's putting in place, the leadership that he's replacing. Everything about this is dangerous and scary.
Yes.
So, they've put a ban on transgender military service. So,
I saw that. Like, how does that impact people who have already been serving for years as trans people?
Well,
because it's my understanding that was finally like becoming like no big deal.
Probably is going to become
and
a big
now,
deal again.
All of a sudden,
you're probably going to have to, use your dead name and identify as the sex you were born with. Otherwise, you'll probably be fired. If I had to guess.
By fired, you mean a dishonorary discharge?
I'm sure.
Or dishonorable discharge?
Probably.
Oh my God.
Yeah. He's had a meeting with the Saudi defense minister, which I don't know if anybody recalls, but when Trump was in office last, he was actually trying to sell military equipment to Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
And making a big deal about it. Like he has this like really large infatuation with Saudi Arabia and other authoritarian governments that are out there. But like, I feel like it's it's not a great situation for us because we don't really agree with the way Saudi Arabia treats their people.
Right.
Or journalists.
Right.
If we recall.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I remember.
I mean, not that that's funny, but I mean, just like, no, like, why are we trying to create this close tie to people that we don't like? I mean, Trump is meeting with Putin and we just voted against everybody else on that UN resolution for Ukraine. We're creating these wrong connections with people.
I don't know if you're aware, but a lot of what he's trying to do too is he wants his legacy when he leaves to have been one of American expansion. And that's why...
You're talking about Trump.
Trump, yes. I'm sorry. That's why he has been talking about Greenland and Panama and making, or the Panama Canal, I should say, and making Canada the 51st state. Like, he was floating some of those as, funny, but then he kept repeating it, and that makes it less funny.
Yeah.
He's actually pursuing all of these things because he wants to be the one who is reported in history as making America bigger, expanded, bigger.
Got it. So
that one of those things is probably going to happen during this. But then again, I've also heard him jokingly say, ha, 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 shouldn't I run for a third term? That would be controversial. Like, he just said that at one of his little cute rally meeting things, within the last month.
Well, I guess it really just boils down to who's going to stop him.
Yeah. Well, that's another thing I know this is a little bit off topic. I'm sorry. Another thing that people keep saying is that he's creating a constitutional crisis. And I feel like that's not the correct language. This is not a constitutional crisis. The Constitution is fine on these points. The crisis is the other departments that are not stopping him, the people that are not stopping him.
Right.
That's the crisis. The Constitution says what ought to be done. That's not the crisis. The crisis is the people that are not following the Constitution.
Yeah.
A constitutional crisis is when we're arguing about the Second Amendment and gun rights and stuff.
Yeah.
And it wasn't spelled out, right?
Sure.
It wasn't spelled out what a militia means and what a well-regulated militia. And it wasn't spelled out what they meant by weaponry, because they couldn't have imagined where we'd be at today.
When we need to further define something.
Yes, that is a constitutional crisis. When things are undefined by the Constitution.
Right.
Birthright citizenship is not a constitutional crisis.
Right.
It's not. It's perfectly clear. We know the rule. The rule is very clear.
Yeah.
The other things that he is trying to push, how many times can a president run? How many terms? That is not a constitutional crisis. It is very clearly spelled out. So I wish that journalists would start using the correct language instead of like calling it what it's not. Put it on what it is. What it is this president and the people that he is putting in place, like Pete Hegseth, they are causing a crisis in how we are going to be as a nation if we do not stop them, because the people in place to stop them aren't doing that.
And that's a great place to jump into this. So what can be done, right?
Yes. Great question. What can be done? Because I'm freaking the fuck out.
No, and I think that this is very, very important, right? At least pointing people in the right directions and giving them something to think about doing.
A call to action.
And I think the easiest thing to do is just raising awareness and speaking out, right? Like, say something about this. Mention this to people. I don't think people really know what this guy stands for, what he's doing. Like, the full breadth of what he stands for and what he is doing to the military. I don't think there's a lot of people that really fully understand what's happening.
I mean, should we have a talk with my parents about this guy? Do you think that would be helpful?
It would probably be a good idea, but I don't know how they would receive it. So there's, but yeah, I don't think that they would be fully aware that this is happening.
They're excited about the Christian part of it, but don't know about the other parts.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I hear you excited about the Christianity part, but are you aware they want me dead?
Racist.
Are you aware that they want me dead and my children as well?
Yeah, so I mean, just continuing to speak out, mention, share posts. I'm actually going to link to we did a blog post about this. I'm going to link to that in the episode here. And this is a Patreon only episode, but I think I am going to release this in a couple of weeks as a public episode.
Because it's important.
And I'm not trying to take away from what the Patreon experience is, but I feel like this is one of those things that's important enough that it's out there for the public sphere.
It is important information.
So I will eventually release this as a standalone public one as well, but not right away.
Okay.
You guys get it first for a little while.
Well, yeah.
So, and then supporting secular military organizations is also another thing you could do. So there's the Military Religious Freedom Foundations, the MRFF, and they stand for secular military. And
that's amazing. I didn't even know there was such a thing.
Yeah.
Cool.
And obviously there's your regular, you got your Freedom from Religion Foundation and American Atheists that you can always support them, and they're going to hold government accountable for things that they're doing. So, but the Military Religious Freedom Foundation, if you don't know about them, they're actually a really amazing group. I follow them on social media, and they're really, really great. They're doing a lot of great things for secular communities in the military. So
how are they? Are you aware? Have you looked
I'm not aware recently. I haven't looked them up recently. I should have, but I have not.
Well, maybe that'll be a follow-up, because I would be curious how they feel, what their statements are against this guy and what actions they're taking.
Well, yeah. And I with organizations like that, they're not usually allowed to speak out politically.
Right.
So it's not going to be, there's not going to be a lot of political outrage, but they will probably be showing extra support.
I'm sure there might be a statement, though, or there might be somebody who has said something outside of their organization.
It's going to be a lot of vague things that were, they can only do what they can do.
Right.
So,
but still, I'm curious, though.
I am too, but they're definitely worth supporting.
Sure.
So, do you have any closing thoughts about any of this that we've discussed?
It's all fucked.
I mean, yeah, basically it is all fucked. And we have somebody that is in charge of our military that rejects democracy and that wants to basically make it a Christian institution.
A Christian nationalist institution.
Right, yeah, I'm sorry. But yeah, bad enough that it's Christian, but Christian nationalist institution.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and not just Christian nationalists, but like those awful groups that I was mentioning earlier in the sphere or whatever it was. They always drop out of my brain after I mention them because I don't want to remember them. I think it's just like bad thoughts go away.
Right.
But yeah, like he stands for everything awful.
Yeah. And
this is who we have running our fucking military now.
Yeah.
And I couldn't let it sit.
No, I had to do.
You asked me like what we were going to do an episode about tonight, and I was like, I need to do one about this.
You were like, I need to rant about this guy. Let me tell you about him.
Whether it was going to be a good episode or not, I think just getting his name out there so people start looking into this fucker, is important.
No, I totally agree.
Like we should all know Pete Hegseth's name, not because he's important, but because he's a fucking asshole.
Yeah.
And because we need to get him the fuck out of this office in this position.
And he's dangerous.
And he's very fucking dangerous.
He needs to go away.
He does. All right. Well, that's all I had on Pete Hegseth.
Okay.
So,
I think we're in agreement. Fuck that guy.
Fuck that guy.
Okay.
Yeah. And then, so we'll be back here shortly with the endings of the Habakkuk.
Habakkuk-choo.
Yeah. So we'll see you guys. Happy to see you guys soon.
Yeah.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Hey, wife, I guess that's the end?
But husband, that's just sad.
It doesn't have to be. We are on lots of social media platforms like Twitter. Our handle there is sacrilegious_D.
For D's nuts.
Oh my God. Stop doing that. Anyway, we're also on Facebook, Instagram, and Pinterest. There's a link to all of our social media sites at our website.
Ooh, we have a website?
Yeah, it's sacrilegiousdiscourse.com, where you can also find a link to our merch shop.
We have a merch shop?
Yep, we have podcast-themed clothing, mugs, notebooks, and more, as well as an atheist and science-themed products.
Wow, our fans should really go check that out right now.
Definitely. They can get in touch with us by sending an email to sacrilegiousdiscourse@gmail.com. But before they do that, we could really use some help.
Oh yeah? With what?
Well, it's not free running the podcast, and we need some financial support in order to get better equipment, which will free up time so we can concentrate on our podcast and our fans.
Okay, so what should they do?
Head over to patreon.com/sacrilegiousdiscourse and sign up as a contributor on our podcast. Supporters there receive additional bi-weekly episodes that we record just for our Patreon members for as little as $2 a month.
Also, we'd really appreciate it if you would like and subscribe on whatever platform you're using.
And Apple Podcast reviews help us out tremendously.
Like and subscribe. Leave an Apple review. Join us on Twitter. Support us on Patreon. That's a lot of instructions. Don't forget to say thanks.
Thanks.
Okay, bye.